I didn't really have expectations. I kind of blew Mark off for a long time. It took about a month and a half for him to get in front of me because I've heard the pitch over and over again. We got the next best thing with the newest thing. We're going to get in front of your customers. We're going to make appointments for you. And I didn't know what to expect. The price was right, so I decided to go for it and give it a shot. So we didn't know what we were doing. We ended up throwing a 1,000-piece campaign that went out at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we basically ran out of people to answer phones. I was blown away by the first set of phone calls we got, and I had no idea what to do with them. We literally lost count, and we panicked. We basically panicked, and we decided to go with smaller numbers from that point on forward. Probably 5 minutes after the campaign dropped, and I'm sitting in the BDC, in my office in the back of the BDC, and I'm answering phones. I got salespeople answering phones. I got everybody that can have in the BDC and the internet department answering phones, and there were still phones to be answered. So I go running out in the middle of the showroom, yelling as I'm running across the floor, I need every available salesperson that's not with a customer, come with me right now. So I grabbed the sales managers and I said, get everybody that's outside sitting around doing nothing and get them inside right now. So we sent them inside the BDC, and that was history, I guess. Went probably for the first 30 days, we ended up getting, we dropped 4,200 names into the campaign. We ended up closing about, I want to say 92 sales, if I'm not mistaken. So we did 92 sales off of those 4,000, and it cost us nothing. I mean, it was so minuscule. The cost per sale was absolutely the lowest I've ever paid anybody for a cost of sale.
Did you break 6 figures on your profit?
No, absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. We ended up doing the 92 sales, ended up bringing us about a total of $212,000 in gross after everything. So that's right side, that's front end, back end. And again, you know, we do internet sales, we do people that are in their cars for maybe 6 months to a year sometimes, and we're getting them out of them. So we have some people that are buried in their cars and got some upside down, some negative equity, whatever you want to call it. And even with that, we ended up breaking $2,000 a copy. So we're very happy. The only thing I can really compare this to is like having a tent sale. There's nothing else like it in the traditional marketing and advertising sense in a car dealership. The closest anybody's come in a direct mail piece would probably be a Capital One. Capital One sends out to their customers, pre-approves them for a certain amount. They're taking on the loans, so ends up being a pretty good closing ratio, but it's still a drop in the bucket compared to Hot Prospector. We had a lot of pushback in the beginning because nobody knew what to expect. Everybody was saying, okay, you're going to spend this much for what? For what? They're going to make the phones ring? They're going to send that? The biggest issue that we had wasn't pushback because of the amount of money we were spending or the doubt. It was in, is this legal? Is this something we should be doing? And ended up, we looked at everything and everything checked out. Everything ends up being on the up and up. So that's like the biggest moment for us. Going forward, if I had my say, if it was up to me, if I was king of the world, that's all we'd do. We would do nothing but find little ways to making phone campaigns to where we're calling customers and using Hot Prospector to get different types of customers in the building. That's it. That's all we do. We wouldn't spend the money that we're spending on digital advertising and pay-per-click and AdWords and billboards and radio. None of that would exist. Well, the staff at Hot Prospector has been phenomenal. Every time I had a problem, we had a couple of problems, a couple of hiccups where a server went down right in the middle of a phone campaign, and I called in, they got fixed immediately. They were responding on the spot. So from Mark all the way down to anybody who answered the phones when I called, things got taken care of. I didn't know what to expect when I signed on with Hot Prospector. I've heard a lot of pitches in my lifetime, and I was expecting the best, but we ended up getting it. It was great, and we didn't know what we were going to see.